she starts complaining about their therapist, saying their therapist is toxic because their therapist advised him to do the shit he's actually doing. The therapist even agreed. You didn't know that, did you? This is so one-sided. It's unbelievable. I believe Jonah Hill did nothing wrong. And I believe what Sarah Brady did was not only was she 100% wrong, I'm going to show you how she did further socioeconomic damage to the entire world. I think what she did was horrific. And I'm going to go, because there's details I promise you guys don't even know, especially the breakup text messages that she had. What she did was so insidious, but I'm going to leave it up to where we read it all. And the other thing is the number of people who have had an opinion on this, who have not read the text messages, is shocking to me. And whenever I see the reaction videos from therapists online, they never read the messages, and there's a reason why.
To put this in proper context, remember that a lot of this happened a year ago. This is a long time in the past, okay? And now suddenly these are being leaked because Jonah Hill is with a new woman right now, and they just had a baby together.
So I just want to point this out. She leaked them right after his fiance had a baby. I'm going to say this for the second time because I'm sure most of you didn't know that. These things were magically leaked right after they had a baby. And I'm sure you guys probably think the breakup was acrimonious. And I'm going to show you that it wasn't. She was actually very happy when they broke up. And they had no contact since then. And then all of a sudden, he has a baby with someone else. And all of a sudden, these things need to be leaked.
Bam.
I'm sorry. No excuse for this. I do care that he is A or A- list celebrity. And I'll tell you why, because we wouldn't give a fuck about this if he wasn't. We wouldn't be talking about this, and she wouldn't be trying to grab clout off this if she wasn't. Also, if she was a he and he was a she, and she was trying to proclaim boundaries on him, this would not be an issue. And those therapists saying that these are not boundaries, this is controlling. I guarantee you, every one of the therapists that we're going to show you here in a little bit, if we flip the script, they would not say that these are boundaries, because women absolutely, and I don't disagree with this, have the right to have preferences as boundaries. The problem is that men seem to not be able. Let's do this. I'm going to read the message. Let's just go to the, it goes, literally just saying hello to leave the convo. I love how your therapist thinks I suck. I literally am one of the best boyfriends on earth. Okay, that's what he's saying. And then it goes here. This is, by the way, how do we know about this? She posted this on an IG story, and she screenshot one after another. All right, she says, plain and simple, this is what Jonah says to her. He goes, if you need surfing with men, if you need surfing with men, by the way, he did not say, I can't have you, or don't do this, or you stupid stop doing this. He did not say that. He said, if you need, trust me, nobody wants you to read these messages. If you need surfing with men, boundaryless relationships with friends, with men. Again, I have a girlfriend who was a bartender, and she's currently a bikini model. I have no problem with her in a bikini. I understand she understands that's what the business is, and that is her business. Okay. To model, to post pictures of yourself in bathing suits. Now, when she surfs, that is not the bathing suit he's talking about. She does not surf in a bikini. That's not what she's doing. She's taking thirst trap photos as if she is single. And again, there's nothing wrong, ladies, if you want to do that. There's nothing wrong if you want to do that if you have an OnlyFans. There's nothing wrong if you want to do that and you have an OnlyFans and you and your husband on OnlyFans. There's nothing wrong with that. The problem is the two of you are in a relationship together and you're both allowed to express boundaries.
Was she doing that before?
I don't know if she was doing this before specifically, but my point is this. Ladies, have you ever been in a relationship with a guy and he changed? Has that ever happened?
Yeah.
Don't raise your hand.
Yes.
You've been in a relationship with a change?
Yes.
Right, he's a narcissist. But that's your fault that he changed, right? Is that your fault?
Is it my fault?
Is it your fault he changed?
No.
Oh, wait a second. Jody, is that your fault that he changed?
No.
Oh, Ashley, was it your fault that he changed? You're saying you shouldn't be held accountable for him changing. Is that correct?
Correct.
Jesse, is it your fault that he changed? No. Okay, so it's not his fault.
Before you continue, ladies, did he actually change, or was he always like that? And it just took time to find out that he was really always
right. But he may have given you a facade initially to say whatever the lover, whatever the fuck. I'm not even saying it's true or not true. My point is, when ladies say that men changed, they don't feel that they are accountable for the change. But for some reason, in this case, we're all saying he knew what he was getting into. We don't know that. Yeah. We don't know that he wasn't going around gripping other girls. And I have a hard time believing that initially, when she's going to date this A-list celebrity, that she's going around flirting with other men. I think after a while, when she understood how far she could push the boundaries, she started to test him. Right. And that's essentially what happened. Right. That is not his fault, which is why I'm sticking with what I said initially. None of this is his fault. Going to the next thing. Posting pictures of yourself in a bathing suit to post sexual pictures. Friendships with women who are in unstable places from your wild recent past beyond getting a lunch or coffee or something respectful. He doesn't have a problem with them being friends with them. It's just in a situation where if you have friends, I don't know if you guys have ever lived in LA, there's some people who do some fucking coke out there. They get crazy as And like real talk, let me tell you something, fellas, ladies, you can tell me if I'm wrong here. If I have a girlfriend and I don't want her hanging around girls that I know sleep with other dudes for money, does that make me bad? Am I controlling?
No.
Okay, one more time. To friendships with women who are in unstable places from your wild recent past beyond getting a lunch or coffee with someone respectful. Listen, here's what he said. At no point does he say you're a hoe. At no point he says I hate you. No one he says, here's where I want you to read this because no one else will read this for you.
You don't get to dictate what I do with my friends, though.
Right, but then we can break up. And I understand
because
what you're saying, but
because I'm going to a bar with my girlfriend?
No, but you can go to a bar with your friends. But my point is, if your friend is doing something,
he's dictating to her. You can go to coffee with your friends, but nothing more than that.
Right,
that's the boundary.
But what if he didn't want you? What if you didn't want your man hanging out with his ex?
Do you remember how you guys have talked so many times about like some girls are delusional about what they want, their demands in men? He's allowed 100% to be delusional in what he wants.
There you go.
But you cannot sit there and dictate to someone a year into a relationship now what they can wear, what they can do. You can't do that.
But he's not.
She has the option to leave.
This is what's so insidious about this. The first line is if you need. He's not dictating.
But there's a
He's putting it on her.
Hold
He's
on,
saying
listen.
if you need to put accountability on her, so he washes his hands. Like if you need to be a hoe, then be a hoe. That's not
okay. So Jesse, if you and I were dating and you had a guy friend who maybe he used to flirt with you, and whenever he comes around, he just has this commonality thing where he just grabs your ass every time he does it, or he hugs you and it's a little too long and he gets some side boob. And I said, hey, I don't feel comfortable with you doing this. When you're with these guy friends, I would appreciate if they would not grab your ass.
He's axed.
Right, but that's just as I love how you think
up a scenario. You have no idea if that's actually the situation.
but neither do you, and that's my point
like
here.
Was women like that point?
Yeah, he sounds like
it sounds like it was talking about women.
Yeah, but he was also talking about guys. He said,
I understand the guy bullet, but the other one was about.
Okay, hold on. Do you see? Hold on. This is my point. Do you see how we're all coming up with different reasons why he could be right or wrong? This is their mother relationship, and we're posting these things after he had a baby with someone else.
Yeah,
she's 100% in the wrong. I am not the right partner for you. Not move your shit out of my place. I am not
he has every right.
the right partner for you. Guys, you know what an ultimatum is? An ultimatum is a threat, usually one that you can't carry out. Do you know what happened after this? He broke up with her. This is not an ultimatum. It was an if-then statement in programming. That's what this was. This is absolutely stating a boundary. This is not threatening, and this is certainly not controlling.
The only thing I would say is he should have done it earlier.
Thank you.
Correct.
If you have to party with the people from your past, and if you have to do anything more than a coffee, it's disrespectful. That aspect of it is
beautiful. Then let's break up.
Because I want to go out with someone who has a different
but the thing is,
lifestyle than me?
we're life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. Let's just break up then. Let's just break up.
But what if we're not even doing anything wrong with our friends?
Yeah.
Huh?
What if we're just going to the hookah lounge?
No. Again, I live in Las Vegas too. There's no way. When you and I are on stage at some nightclub, there's girls around there that probably had sex for money, and we're not going to just like shun them.
And we're the sober ones.
Yeah, we're the sober ones. I'm not saying this is right for me.
Right.
My girlfriend can post whatever she wants in bikinis because she's a bikini model. I met her as a bikini model. I knew that. And if she changed and started letting men touch her, I would write her a message similar to this.
We don't know if that's we don't know if that's the situation.
Did he state that she changed? Did he state that she changed?
Whether or not she stated or did he change or not, because Jonah Hill's not going to talk about this, which is the smartest thing to do.
Right.
The point is, whether or not he changed or not, they broke up amicably.
Okay.
And there was no acrimony between the two of them. And then he had a baby with someone else. And then she posted this. That's my point.
I just feel like there's not enough information.
That's the information.
There's debate about it.
We're not halfway done.
Well,
Here we go.
timing
I am not the right partners for you. If these things bring you to a place of happiness, I support it. What an asshole. Can you believe he said that? If these things bring you to a place of happiness, I support it. What a manipulative Can you believe she had to date this multi-millionaire A-list celebrity who asked her to not flirt with other men? What a piece of... I'm going to make a T-shirt for this. Ready? If these things bring you to a place of happiness, I support it. I'm going to get a T-shirt that says that. Okay?
Oh Lord,
all right.
Michael. It's not
and ready? Here we go. Listen to the threats here. And there will be no hard feelings.
Oh.
Oh my God! What a fucking asshole. Look at all this. He's just digging a hole for himself.
You know what the therapists say? That's passive aggressive.
That's so passive aggressive.
I think that's how she.
First off, the conjecture that he would do that. They went to therapists together. In fact, she starts complaining, and one of the therapists we're going to show starts complaining about their therapist, saying their therapist is toxic because their therapist advised him to do the shit he's actually doing. The therapist even agreed. You didn't know that, did you? This is so one-sided. It's unbelievable.
The very fact that you're in therapy with your girlfriend,
bro,
dude, that's last stop before toll.
Here we go.
Seriously, here we go. Stop. It's like at that point, this should have been just. Okay,
I love this. Done. If these things bring you to a place of happiness, I support it.
Here we go.
And there will be no hard feelings. These are my boundaries for a romantic partnership. These are my boundaries.
That's great.
How dare you say these are boundaries? You're trying to control her.
No, I feel like
all of them are boundaries. You not fucking other men while we're in a relationship is a boundary. It's not controlling. And me deciding that I don't want my girlfriend to go hang out with certain groups of people, she has every right to break up with me, like it says here. If we were to switch X with Y, the variables, all of a sudden, just a change of words goes from one thing from a boundary to controlling. So it was controlling, but now when I say I don't want a man to grab your butt, now it's a boundary because that's rational. But then what happens when it's not rational? What happens when it comes to the point where like she wants to go have sex with other men and she's made it clear that that's what makes her happy and you should respect that boundary, and you telling her to not have sex with other men, because I guarantee you these therapists that you're about to see would absolutely say that shit.
Boundaries mean nothing unless there is some sort of consequence to those. Okay,
but that's controlling though, dude. That's controlling.
No, it's not controlling.
Why are you controlling people?
So here's the thing. So I'm going to use another extreme example. The guys have hit me up all the time. They'll say, "Rollo, my girlfriend or my wife, whatever, she comes to me and she says, hey, I want to go and have a girls' weekend out in Vegas. I want to go have a girls' night out. I want to go and do these things. Is that okay with you? Are you okay with that?" And really, that's really more in a relationship sense. That's a shit test. Okay. It's not about the permission. It's not about whether or not you're okay with it or not. It's the fact that she wants to go in the first place. So what I tell guys is say, yeah, sure, have fun. Go out with your girlfriends. That's what you want to do. Sure, go ahead, honey. I support that, right? She comes back, all her shit's on the sidewalk and all the locks in the doors.
And I agree with you. I think that I think in the modern day age, a lot of women and sometimes men don't understand what a real boundary is. Because I have to admit, for me too, before I started to like understand podcasts and red pill and all that stuff and what a feminist is, which I'm not a feminist, but you know, like all that stuff, I didn't realize I really was pushing my ex-boyfriend's boundaries, and I thought he was being controlling or insecure, and I would call him that. And I was really thinking to myself, like, man, like I really do need to look at what I'm doing, because so a woman's brain is, okay, I'll give you an example. I go out somewhere. This is a real true life example. Me and my girlfriend sitting at the bar. She knows a celebrity, right? Wiz Khalifa. So she's like, oh my God, that's like my really good friend. We go to his hotel, and I'm like a little uncomfortable. I don't like to be a groupie. I'm sitting next to him. There's a picture taken. I look like I'm fucking him. I'm not doing a damn thing. But immediately, it doesn't matter. The whole world will think I'm having sex with him.
Such a great point. Jody, Katrina, you guys are out one time, all right? And you just go out to dinner, whatever, and you're walking out of Katana, and you happen to be walking next to Drake, and someone takes a picture on TMZ. Who believes you didn't?
Exactly.
No, I'm being serious.
I'm in my head, my female brain, I'm like, but I didn't do anything wrong. Why are we even fighting about this? Not that big of a deal.
Because you didn't do anything wrong.
Exactly.
You're right. You just embarrassed him. That's the problem.
Exactly. Which, again, I never understood until...
Well, see, my point is this, is when we're talking about boundaries, I don't want to be with a woman who I have to explain those boundaries to in the first place.
Telling men what are
I want you to know me and be so into me and have such genuine desire for me that you're like, you know what? I don't really want to go to this girl's night out. I think it would be a much better idea to stay at home, whatever, because I'm really into him. He's the guy for me, man. He's the one whose babies I want to have.
As soon as a girl chooses that, they always think like I'm losing my independence, but they don't understand being dependent on a man is not a negative thing. It's actually what you're supposed to do, because when you're in a relationship, you're slightly dependent on each other.
Of course.
You know, so you're dependent on her to bring something to what she brings to the table. You're dependent on him to protect you and give you safety. And I think that at this modern day of age, being dependent is looked at as this negative thing, like, oh my God.
Actually, the thing is, we are both in a contract with each other. Yeah. When the contract has statements and stipulations in the contract, if we both agree to those contracts, they are boundaries. But as soon as you don't like the stipulations, then I'm controlling you. Right. No, then you can leave. And he gave her the easiest, smoothest pathway to leave. And several times says, if that's what makes you happy, I support it. That's the thing. When he says the correct words, because he's a man trying to assert his boundaries, he's being manipulative. What if he's just trying to assert his boundaries? Even if his boundaries are unreasonable. If this was an Islamic man who wanted her to wear hijab, several Christian women would be like, get the out of my face. I'm not going to do that. And you have the right to leave.
He has the right to have his boundaries. 100%. He has the right to have his boundaries.
Ready. So the last line here. My boundaries with you, based on these ways these actions have hurt our trust. Okay, I think he misspelled a little bit of that. So we're going to go here, and this is the next part full of this abusive language. Listen to more abuse that he gives.
You're going to read this.
You guys ready? Right. Nor may I ever want that from my partner, and I reserve the right, and I'm open about it. Let me know. We'll respect you either way. God, I can't believe this piece of shit. We'll respect you either way. But these are my boundaries of this romantic relationship. Thanks. I'd love to know before the premiere, so I'm not put in the position of publicly flaunting our love. If my boundaries are going to continue to be disrespected, that would be hurtful and triggering for me. And she says, understood. Aww. She says understood, by the way, guys. And I think that's another part that's lost. She said understood, and then here's the only one people read. Here's the only one you ever see, and they still don't even read this. Take some accountability and operate with respect. It's that simple. Oh, actually, no, I already read that one. Because I'm tired of your attitude towards the surf culture, that contest, and that place, because I deserve respect, period. I have been more patient, and shit like this is still here. Fuck that contest, fuck that place, not respecting me. Always in every situation within the surf culture, you don't get it, you don't get me, get it. I don't know if you get it or care or give about that, even after Dr. Stern said it out loud. Dr. Stern was the couples therapist.
It's a lot.
Right. I see why she was disrespectful.
Okay, here we go. It's just constant and doesn't reflect where we are or where you say you want to be. And I respect your skill in your surfing. Fucking asshole. And I respect how you want to present yourself. I respect that you're hot and you're beautiful.
There it is. That's fat guy speak.
And I respect, however,
that's fat guy
and I respect, however, you want to live.
Bad news.
But I also respect myself, and that's what I'm interested in my own life, and what I let into my heart in my inner circle. So celebrate yourself, however you please, and shine bright. But I don't want to have to deal with it.
I hear the
Okay.
I hear the vagina. Drying all across.
No, agreed. But is he wrong? But does that make him wrong?
Absolutely not.
Okay, hold on, one more time. I want to hear, ladies. Is this abuse?
No.
Okay, dude, trust me, because that's
calling it abuse.
Oh, get ready.
No, it is abuse. We were just abused by having to listen to this shit right now. My ears were abused because I'll tell you. You know who doesn't say this? Guys who fuck.
Yes.
Guys who don't say this.
I mean, but do you think he doesn't fuck?
You know what they do? You know what they do? They go out and they fuck somebody else. That's what they do. They don't have the time to write poetry.
And that's what I was going to say. This guy is really good at communicating.
Go back to this. Ready? This is in August of last year. So this is less than a year. This is when they break up. Remember, an ultimatum is when I make threats. Hey, we're going to break up or else.
Ultimatums are a declaration of power.
But he broke up. Ready? I don't want you to bail on school. That's important. That's what he's saying to her. Hey, I know I don't need to, but the spirit of pure respect for our friendship, they're already broken up, guys. Listen to me. I don't know. I know I don't need to, but in the spirit of pure respect to our friendship and appreciation for each other, I did want to be transparent that I did start dating someone else recently. I'm sorry if that is painful. It just happened, and I didn't want to not be transparent. As if I never cared about you. Thanks for letting me know. Probably the best if we don't talk for a while and you figure out where that's headed. Okay? This is several months ago. We could go on more. It goes, I appreciate and understand that. And it goes, impressive turnaround time, by the way. So she's upset that in August, he's already seeing someone else. So this is her saying this. Impressive turnaround, by the way. And then shows a picture of him and his new girlfriend making out on the beach. Can you just let your publicist know that ain't me? I'm trying to start a career over here.
She sounds petty.
Oh, petty. Yeah. Now it seems like we're finally getting to the point here. This was my point. None of this was true. The only point of this was to get back at him. It is very clear that she's upset. She's like, wow, remember, he said, if you can't deal with what I need, let's break up. Then breaks up and then has the audacity to let her know, hey, out of respect, I'm gonna see someone else. And then she goes, nice turnaround time, by the way. And then when he has a baby with someone else, she has the audacity to release these fucking things. But no one will tell you this. No one wants to talk about this part.
So you have the inside scoop? How you know all this?
No, because I took some time to read it. Ready? Here goes. Not that this is my business, but out of my own personal chicks before dicks code, if that's headed anywhere other than the hookup or fling, I'd appreciate it if you make that woman aware of how recently you've been flirting with me, sexting me, and leaning me on for partner level emotional support. By the way, he said it just happened. It's like, no, he can flirt with her all she wants. They're not in a relationship yet.
This is what happens when people like go to therapy and like it gets in their brain.
They learn jargon and then they want to use it for
themselves, and then they gaslight each other with the jargon and the language that they learn, so that they're fighting with like the same language that they learn in therapy.
I'm sorry if it's upsetting. This is Jonah Hill. I'm sorry if it's upsetting that I would move on at all 6 months later. But I have handled you, and I have with the utmost love, and I've handled you with the utmost love and respect. Thanks. Don't ruin all the kindness. You're better than that. And then it goes on and on. But the point I'm trying to make is, at the end, he was very much trying to let her down. 6 months after they broke up, he explained it to her. And then, by the way, she didn't release these texts. These are texts that Jonah Hill released to show what the fuck she was doing.
So where's the abuse coming into play? I'm confused.
Oh no, we'll get to that. We haven't even got to that point. My point is, I want to like Your Honor.
These are the longest message. We're going through the whole roll.
No, because I'm tired of like the misinformation about this. This is the most one-sided shit I've ever seen. She was very clear, because this very much thing. The reason why I'm so triggered is this happened to me.
I got that.
Right? Okay. So I have a girlfriend. We're in a.
You are.
He's so triggered.
Right.
He came in here hot, man. He was ready to go.
Man,
Coming in hot.
I was seeing someone for a number of years. She was not my girlfriend. We never settled down. We were just sort of seeing each other casually. Then one day she told me, I was seeing someone else. She was very upset about it, and I told her, I was like, this is making you way too upset to see me with other women. I think what you want is monogamy. So if you need to break it off and move on, then that's totally fine with me. I'm totally fine with that. And she does. She's married a month later, and we're totally fine. That is in July of 2019. By December of 2019, she is sending me a message basically saying, no, I'm sorry, this is in July, 2019. By December of 2020, this is during COVID, she sends me a message, happy birthday, old man. This is my 43rd birthday. She's like, happy birthday. She sent it to me on Snapchat, which is already a big red flag because she doesn't want her husband to see it. Then after she does that, I started dating a girl in December of 2020. You know who it is. And when I started dating her, I get a 10-paragraph message explaining to me how I was wrong. I wronged her, and I was a terrible person. And then a day later, I get another.
Married woman?
I get a message. Yeah, she's married. Then a day later, I get a message apologizing for all the things she wrote in the first message, and then she proceeds to say horrible things about me. Remember, she told me happy birthday. I want to show this. When they broke up, he was very kind to her. He let her know what happened.
He's so triggered.
And now, after he moves on and he's having a baby with someone else, this woman has the audacity to say, I hope God brings him a girl.
Oh no!
Okay.
To talk about,
and if he does, he'll be a girl dad.
Woman, we broke up. You don't need to talk about my children. How about that?
Ever.
How about ever? So she's 500% in the wrong.